Over the next few minutes, you'll be watching me going through and walking you through how did I audit all of these funnels, how did I spot the bottlenecks, and how did we fix these funnels to get them to a stage where they are scalable, similar to what you can see here. For this brand, we did 30K in ad spend, 200K back last month. Here we did low spend, it's only last week, but we're having a 13K week, basically 4.6x ROAS. And here for this brand last month, we did 160K, which is their first 6-figure month. And we 4x'd basically, or more than 4x'd at this point, their previous month. So how did we audit these funnels, how to spot bottlenecks, and how does the funnel actually look like? It's really simple, actually. We'll be going over this flowchart diagram right here, which simplifies the funnel and actually breaks it down into steps from the ad or even before the ad to the actual conversion. So let's go over it together. First of all, obviously, ad account performance dropped, which is why most likely you're watching this video. First thing that we look at is CPMs. We want to see if CPMs are ideal. Ideally, if they're lower than $70, usually you're good. If they're above 70 or even above 100, then you're in the red zone, basically. So if they're above 100, that means that the audience is too narrow or competition is too high. They could spike up in seasonal periods like BFCM, like now at the time of recording this video. But generally speaking, either your creatives are not hitting the right messaging, or again, you have a problem, like audience is too narrow, you're using interests, you're using lookalikes, you're using different audiences, you're targeting a super tight audience, or your creatives are really bad. Meta is having a real problem finding your ideal target audience, basically, which is why CPMs are high. But if CPMs are low, then you move to the creative level. We want to look at click-through rate, all, and the link click-through rate. Ideally, for CTR all, we want it to be around 2 to 3%. For link click-through rate, we want it to be above 1%. Now, we take a look into that. The chart is really simple. If it's low, then it's creative fatigue, or we have a weak hook, weak creatives, weak messaging. We need to refresh creatives. We could possibly dive into testing different offers, different positioning. But if CTR is good, then we move into the next step, which is we want to see the conversion rate between link click and landing page view. So we want to see, are people actually landing on our page, which you can easily set up as a custom metric in Meta Ads. Now, if this conversion rate is less than 80%, then there's a problem with the website. Slow site, missing SSL, or poor trust indicators. We need to fix this. Is most likely a technical problem that needs the IT team to fix. So if the rate is above 80%, then the last thing that we check on the ad level or in the ad account is frequency. It's not a huge indicator, but usually as long as it's around the 3x, for the last 7 days, things are good. If it's above a 3x or above, I would say, to be honest, a 4x, then you need to refresh new creatives and test broader audiences. Now, all of these metrics are ad account metrics or pre-click or soft metrics. Now we'll be moving to post-click metrics. So first thing we look at is landing page view to add to cart ratio or conversion rate. This conversion rate should be around 10 to 15%. Ideally, if it's below 10%, then we have either a weak product / offer alignment, meaning people see the ad and gets promised something, then they hop on the landing page and they see something else, which means that there is no connection or there is a disconnect between the ad and the creative and the actual landing page. So we need to fix that. Or the landing page is simply not convincing enough. So this needs improvement. Now, if it is above 10%, then we take a look into add to cart to checkout ratio. So from the people who added to cart, how many moved to checkout? Ideally, I'd love to see this around 50%. If it's below 50%, then there is a friction or a surprise cost, most likely. So we need to simplify checkout, fix pricing, and possibly add trust badges to help push people basically move more into the checkout. Now, if the conversion rate is more than 50%, then we move to take a look into the final conversion rate, which is checkout to purchase. Ideally, this also should be around 50%. If it's below 50%, it's kind of the same problem. Payment issues, trust, or delivery concerns, which is why they're not purchasing, basically. Or a lot of the times it could be the shipping cost. So double check that. Now, total landing page view to purchase, which is the final conversion rate, which is the normal conversion rate that everyone looks at, should be around 3 to 4%. So usually if it's below 3%, then you need to audit all of the steps above and make sure everything makes sense. If everything makes sense, it should be around 3%. If not, you'll have a big problem here. Now, if it's healthy, then congrats, you have a healthy funnel. And simply, this is how I audit and look at every funnel, all of these numbers, as long as all of these conversion rates make sense from the CPMs to the final purchase. Then overall, you should have a really highly scalable funnel similar to these clients right here. If you need help scaling your ads, or if you have any ads related questions
for your brand and you're spending 10 to 15,000, even 30,000 or more a month, then feel free to check my Instagram page below and message me if you have any questions.
Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.